Biomed Industries, Inc. has developed a new drug for Alzheimer's disease that has shown positive results in Phase 1 and Phase 2A clinical trials. This drug has been named NA831.
We have the presentation today on the presentation of neurogenesis hypothesis, and we gave the data of our Phase 2A clinical trials of NA831 for the treatment of Alzheimer's disease. So I'd like to welcome everybody, and I'm pleased that you join with us. Bear with us that the lighting and the music and sound is not perfect, but we like to show you where we are, just give you real life what we like to be in the meeting like this. There are, I believe there are almost 2,000 people at this conference from around the world. It is called clinical trials on Alzheimer's disease. International conference every year they meet about this time to showcase the latest development, latest finding of clinical studies start in the Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3. We are very excited to be here, be part of the big community sharing data. As mentioned earlier, we are having two presentations today. We have attracted quite a good number of people interested to come and visit us, right? Michael and the people from Eli Lilly, Roche and Biogen, and some Japanese company, Chinese company. With further ado, I'd like you to introduce Dr. Zung Tran. He was attending the presentation of Biogen Asia on their drug lecanemab. So now, Zung, when you give a pep talk about
I can do that. This slide is actually from a publication. This is where Asia Biogen did the correct thing. In other words, in conjunction to the presentation that they did at CTAD, really a very good article about the trial, summarizing the results of the clinical trial, was published concurrently in the New England Journal of Medicine, which is probably one of the top medical journals. And so this slide came from that publication. And you can see that lecanemab, the Asia Biogen drug, did better than the placebo, but not by much, because you can see the shape of the curve. They both decline at almost exactly the same rate. So, and that's, slightly improvement, but there was actually no improvement at all. Did not even come close to maintaining baseline cognitive function. Now, this second slide here that you can see is from our own drug, the NA831. Now you can see that the drug treatment not only maintained baseline, but it actually improved on baseline over the course of the study, whereas the placebo actually went down by quite a bit. In other words, people did not improve, but in fact got worse.
When we present the data of our clinical trials, we have a lot of questions, a lot of input, which is very valuable for us. Today, we are presenting a paper introducing the neurogenesis over the past 30 years. A result of clinical data, clinical trials of many dozen drugs candidates apparently didn't make it. And I feel strongly because I went through a personal experience myself, that my dad died of Alzheimer's disease years ago. And at that time, I was very anxious. Being a scientist, I'm looking for ways to see we can mitigate or can help patients like my father and many hundred, even million people worldwide suffering the same disease. At the conference, we make two important information finding. We presented them a new hypothesis that we believe that the amyloid hypothesis be around for 30 years. Results are not very promising. Like yesterday, a day before, Biogen present the data of their phase 3 clinical trials of lecanemab. Like Dr. Zung Tran mentioned, the result actually have a lot of weakness, even though they have promising, but it's still far from a solution. Because when you treat the Alzheimer's disease, you're not talking about a couple of weeks. No. You talk about years, right? When you and I go to the hospital for treatment, we got the IV, and we like to get out from it. The people who on the clinical trial, they last for 18 months, and each month they do 2 times infusion. So over 18 months, they do about 30 plus infusion, and many of them drop out because it's extremely inconvenient, painful, and many of them have to go to the lumbar puncture. So it's not good things to get lumbar puncture your back, and be very painful. And I admire many patients willing to go through that period just to get studies done. For us, we say, hey, we don't need that, no more. Our drug is an oral formulation. It could be done very simple, like take a capsule once a day, 30 milligram over long period of time. The unique about our drug is that it is a endogenous compound. Many of you may know the endogenous compound means the drug already in the brain, right? And we discovered the drug about 20 years ago through animal studies, and it's very safe. There are little adverse effects, so I believe that can be administered orally to the patients for a long time. Okay. What the drug does is that it generates new neurons, enable the person to build up a resilience, build up their neuroplasticity. As you know, when you get old and people get sick, the process of neurodegenerative process, it decline, neuron dying. So we discovered the fact that the drug actually catalyze the making of new neurons, where in the hippocampus. The hippocampus is the place where memory and cognitive functions are built up in our human brain. So helping the brain to boost up the new neurons, I see is a very good result at our phase 2A data. So our next step is do a phase 3. The phase 3 will take at least 500 plus patients in 25 sites in the US, Europe, many countries, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, China, and some Brazil, Argentina. And the cost is very expensive. It costs at least about $100 million over 2 years. Michael, Willis, want to say something?
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you joining us today. And as I mentioned in my email, Zung is going to send out a fairly detailed, short though, analysis of the Biogen publication. As you saw in the graphs, the news is not good. You know, these patients still decline rapidly and unfortunately pretty significantly. But you know, Zung will explain all of the statistical details around that. But what we got really encouraged about after seeing those Biogen results is that we're on the right track. You know, those 2 graphs told the entire story. I'm going to use a little, you know, here's Biogen, placebo, treatment, down. Biomed, placebo, treatment, completely different direction. They were diverging, not converging. So our excitement level went up about 30 notches as a result of seeing those results. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much, everyone. I'm pleased that you had a chance to meet with us online. We want to thank you one more time for your continued support.
For more information, please visit www.biomedind.com.